return now to this delightful session with Dave and his very intense water phobia, which is going to illustrate the entire EFT process, the basic recipe, and the whole thing from beginning to end, and several aspects of it. It's a great teaching tool, actually.
And actually, Dave has had this water phobia all his life, and he stated on the film he's 50 years old, so it's been around for quite a while.
Actually, in Dave's defense, what he said was, I don't really look my age, but I've had this fear for at least 50 years.
He's a delightful man. We had a lot of fun with him.
You'll enjoy his personality. But this fear he has is very, very intense. In fact, he's over 50 and he cannot swim and never has been able to swim because of it. When he gets in the water, even up to his waist, he will go to something like an 8 on a scale of 0 to 10. His heart will pound, and if he gets up this high, it's a 10. His body grows rigid. You'll hear him say that.
Yes.
And he will panic, and he will think he's going to die and drown. And I mean, it's really very, very intense.
The nice part about this tape is that, as you had mentioned, we're seeing many aspects coming up. So it's going to definitely show you the value of persistence here.
Yeah.
So you have to keep working on it and working on it. You'll see that illustrated very well on this tape.
Very well. In fact, one reason we wanted to show you this tape was not only the fact that we took the basic recipe, the thorough version you're learning here, and we do it over and over and over again to show you exactly what goes on, but these aspects show up. Now, quite often, even with the most intense fear or phobia or traumatic memory or whatever, as we've said so many times, one round of tapping and it's just gone. Not so with Dave. And we didn't know that, of course, to begin with. We have no idea how many aspects or anything. We just start with him. And he's sitting in his chair, in this lawn chair outside the pool, and we're talking, and he gets perfectly calm, and he goes right in the water. He gets right up to his waist. He goes in further up to here, and he has absolutely zero intensity.
Until
we ask him to do this and submerge his head, and then bingo, here comes some other aspects, And if we weren't drumming into you this important concept about aspects and persistence, just to keep at it, you might say to yourself, well, okay, we're blocked here, or oh, this process only works just to a certain degree or something like that. No. See, this process only takes 1 minute per round. I mean, that's a very small risk to take, if you will, for what can be a lifetime of emotional freedom. That's exactly what happens here. Now, this film clip takes about an hour to watch from beginning to end. And that's because we do a lot of conversation in the beginning. We set some stages, some backgrounds. We're teaching it a bit. Adrian's behind the camera, and I tend to be talking to him most of the time, although you will hear Adrian's voice from time to time behind the camera as she has a comment or two to help along.
Very exciting to have seen this happen, and we do feel that it's a learning tool for you, and it's going to bring a lot of enjoyment just watching it.
And even though the film takes an hour, as I mentioned, we could have, if we didn't want to put all the bells and whistles on it and explain as we go along, got right to the issue, and in 15 minutes gotten him totally beyond everything, which is what happens in this. But by the way, with the possible exception, by the way, and this is something we don't know, and it's a good teaching tool, and I do mention it at the later part of this tape. We're in very clear water here. Swimming pool is very clear water. As he tells the story, his phobia began because he lived near a river, which of course is not clear water. And his mother kept telling him, don't go in the river, for a variety of reasons. And so we did not have a way to test it in dark water. That might be, we don't know, that might be another aspect. Because he gets around dark water, and he has some intensity. He just needs to do this process again for the dark water. Anyway, that's probably enough of the pre-frame to all of that. So why don't we just go ahead and begin and watch this and enjoy it. You may want to see it several times to get the real good sense and feel of how this process works, but here we go. We are here at the Holiday Inn in San Rafael, California, because you, Dave, have a water phobia. Is that right?
I never knew the term of phobia, but yeah, I can...
It's an intense fear of water. As a matter of fact, from where you're sitting, you're looking at a swimming pool, are you not?
Can't take my eyes off of it.
All right. And sooner or later, given some success here, you're expected, assuming you're comfortable, to go in the pool.
Right.
Okay. Now, as you sit there and look at that pool, do you get any intensity on a scale of 0 to 10?
As you asked me previously, still no. There is no anxiety. I mean, because I guess I know that I'm here and that's a safe distance.
Yeah, okay. And one thing I want to point out here is quite often when we have an intense fear or a phobic response, usually people, when we have them talk about it, they get rather intense just talking about it. You know, the stomach knocks up, and then sometimes they sweat and the heart pump, but you don't do any of that.
No.
Okay, that's a little bit unusual, and it probably is a form of what's known as repression. By the way, I'm teaching here as I'm doing this. I'm sort of explaining to you and explaining to our audience as well, you know.
All right.
But it's a form of repression, which means typically that the fear gets so intense that you have found a way to block out your awareness of it when you talk about it, imagine it, etc.
That may be.
Okay. As you told me on the telephone recently, you could sit there and think about it and imagine it,
Right.
and not have any
Right.
emotional response that you were aware of at all.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. However, what happens when you get in that pool?
Well, I'll describe the symptoms as I do it. I don't necessarily recall right now, but fear, absolute fear that I am going to drown and die.
Okay. Now you told me on the telephone that if we were just to go into that spa over there, which is what comes up to your waist, maybe
Right.
something like that, you told me on the phone on a scale of 0 to 10 you would get to what intensity? Do you remember?
Possibly a 2, but nothing significant. I wouldn't call a 2 a significant
Okay.
level.
I remember a 4 on the telephone, but
Oh,
that
okay.
changes from time to time. Okay. But if you were to get in this swimming pool and were to wade out into it right now, without doing any tapping or EFT or anything like
Right.
that, and got up to your waist on a scale of 0 to 10, what would you expect the intensity to be?
I'd probably be an 8 when I got to my waist, and I'd be a 10 by the time I got to my shoulders.
Okay. How would you know you were an 8? Would your heart beat fast?
Yes.
Your heart would beat fast.
Right.
I mean, boom, 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 like that.
Right.
Or
Right.
what else would happen?
Constriction, muscle constriction.
Okay.
I would be very, and I get rigid. I have to be able to hold onto the side of the pool in order to even move in the pool,
Okay.
because I just know that I'm going to slip, go down, and not be able to come up.
Well, you don't know that necessarily. You're afraid
Right.
of that.
I am deathly afraid that that's going to happen.
Okay. And as a result, you get all this panic.
Right.
Okay. The other thing is, which is very important to know, you don't know how to swim.
Correct.
As a result of
Because
this,
of this, I've never.
yeah. So you would never even try to swim
no.
because of this.
Right.
Let's go back over time. You were telling me on the phone your view of where this came from.
Mhm.
As a child, things happen. So why don't you kind of go over that? Could you?
Yeah, I was raised in the Midwest on a dairy farm next to a river.
A river.
And there was a steep hill going down to the river, and from the time we could comprehend what Mom was saying, don't go near the water, the fishes will get you.
Well, your mother said that.
Right.
Okay. So that
So-
put fear in little Dave.
Absolutely. You know,
Okay.
you just didn't go behind the house without somebody there, because you're going to tumble down this hill and end up in the water. Then when you grow a year or two and you know that, that's a joke, that fishes aren't going to get you, then you're going to drown. And then I remember...
Your mother tells you this?
Yeah, Mom keeps
Okay.
doing this.
All right.
And probably older siblings too, but because it's the way we were all raised.
Sure. And they're trying to protect you
Correct.
in their own way. Right.
And then when I know that that's not the case, that I can walk the shore and not fall in and drown, then there was a neighbor girl, and we're reminded of her because she went swimming in the river, and it's paper mills up and down the stream, so it's a polluted river, so you're going to either get rheumatic fever or typhoid or something from being in the water.
You're
So
gonna get
you
disease.
just have to stay out of the water, or something terrible is going to happen and you're going to die.
And from that, you develop a real fear about the water.
Absolutely. Right.
Absolutely. Okay. What's interesting, and I want to get your take on this, okay?
Mhm.
And you may or may, whatever answer you have is the right answer, okay? Because it's probably a question you haven't been asked before, okay? There are people who have grown up where their parents would say, "Don't go in the water," in a parallel way to what your parents said, that don't end up with the same kind of fear response that you have. And I'm wondering why you would have the fear response and someone else with a similar set of admonitions by their parents may not.
Well, that's interesting, because I have 3 brothers and sisters, 2 older and 1 younger, and they all swim.
Oh, and so
whether they had the phobia or not, they certainly overcame it.
well, let me tell you, if they had the phobia, they would not swim, and you know that.
Yes.
Nobody knows that more than you do, because how do you swim when your heart is racing and
Right.
you have all that stuff going on?
Right.
Let me suggest what's going on, both for you and for our audience. For some reason, and it's probably an inherited tendency, when you think about water, you remember those admonitions, but what happens in your system is the energy system that circulates through your body gets disrupted. It basically goes zzz, like that, okay? And that's what you're feeling, and that's what EFT is based upon. You see, we're not going to do here like so many people may do in some kind of a therapeutic process, and that is talk to you about what happened a long time ago and try to get you to understand it, and not that that's not valuable and has its place, but we're going to ignore it totally. We're going to go right to where the cause is, and the cause is your energy system that goes zzz when that comes up, okay? And we're going to tap on the energy system, and we're going to balance it. And when we're done,
Great.
when we're done and you get near that water and go in it, our expectation is that you're not going to have the zzz going on and you're going to feel fine. Let me ask you this. If you were to be in that water now, let's just say up to your waist where you thought you would be an 8,
Right.
would it be possible for you to take your fingers and hold your nose and submerge your head under the water?
I can force myself to do that.
You could force yourself to do it.
Right.
Would you go from an 8 to a 10?
Yeah.
Is that the ultimate test as far as you're concerned about the water?
Yes, it probably would be.
Okay. Incidentally, you have that fear about this water even though you know there are no fishes in it.
Correct.
And even though you know in the shallow end you're not going to drown because
Right.
there's cement and solid stuff under you,
Right.
your emotions give you a different response.
Correct.
Better stated, your electrical system, your energy system, gives you a different response, and that's what we're going to deal with. Okay, well, enough of the background. I want to get to this, okay? Are you ready for this?
Oh, I am ready.
Okay. Now, here's what's going to happen. This is not going to be something where we're going to ask you to confront your fear. We're not going to say to you, Dave, there's nothing really wrong in that water. Go confront your fear, grit your teeth, clench your fist, grin and bear it, and go for it. No, you're not even going to get out of that chair until you feel totally comfortable in doing so.
Thank you.
Okay? Because if you're not totally comfortable in doing so, that means there is still more disruption in your energy system going on after doing some tapping. Then we have addressed it all, is what we're saying.
Right.
Okay? So until you are comfortable, we're not going to do it. Now what may happen is we may do this process one time all the way through, and it may take care of every conceivable piece of this whole thing. You may get in that water, you may put your head under the water, you may test it every way, you may have absolutely no phobic response whatsoever after one round. Possible. Okay? My guess is maybe that won't happen, because you probably have a number of aspects, a number of traumatic memories that happened around water and so on, and we may not be able to get them all with one round. So we're just going to keep doing this process for your benefit and for the education of those watching until we get to a point where we've gotten it all through the different rounds. Okay?
Can I explain one of those?
Yeah, please do.
I must have been about 13 or 14, and I was at a teenage group camp at Lake Michigan. And apparently some of the others knew that I was afraid of water. And so they decided they weren't going to have me, as you said, face my fear. They were going to throw it on me. So we were out at least...
You mean they were going to have you face your fear?
Yeah, well, in a barbaric way.
Yeah, I want to interrupt you 1 second. At the moment, as you're talking about that, I'm noticing a little difference in your breathing. Do you feeling a little tense about it?
I noticed a change in my voice, yeah. So,
yeah, okay. On a scale of 0 to 10, how intense are you now about it, would you say, that you notice?
Now that I'm relating this, probably at a 3.
You're about a 3, okay. All right, no, go ahead.
So we must have been in water up to probably my waist. Couldn't have been much deeper than that. So anyway, 3 or 4 of them, they dunked me, and my eyes are open, and it's the first time I've been totally submerged in water. And I know that I'm sitting on the sandy bottom of the lake, and how I got from there to the next step, I don't know, but I was frightfully swimming for the surface. I mean, just absolutely frantic.
As you say that right now, are you still a 3?
Yes, I'm
Still a 3, okay, go ahead.
And finally, I don't know how much later, probably a couple seconds, it seemed like hours to me, I opened my eyes and I was standing in water up to here, and I was thinking I was going to die because I was going to drown and I couldn't get my way to the surface.
Okay. You're still a 3?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't go above...
I'm probably more than a 3.
Okay, best guess.
5.
A 5. And by the way, 10 is where you're up to here in water and you're intense and heart's pounding and you think you're going to die.
Right.
Okay. All right. So you're about a 5 now on
Right.
that. Okay. So you can get yourself intense thinking about it.
Yes.
All right, but you tend not to. So you kind of got beyond any repression that was there for the moment.
Right.
Okay. How do you feel now? Are you at 0 now or still
No.
a 5?
No, I'm about a 4.
You're about a 4. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the EFT process with you right now. I'm going to walk you through it.
Okay.
And all you need to do is just do what I do, or do what I ask you to do,
All right.
and we'll go from there. Okay. So what I want you to do, first of all, I'm going to kind of find this sore spot. It's called a sore spot. It's right about over here. I'm going to dig in here for a second, okay? And I'm going to find a spot that's going to be really sore, and you tell me when I get to it, okay?
Okay. It's right there.
Right there. Okay, I want you to find it with your own fingertips. Okay, probably with you're right-handed, are you not?
Yes.
All right, and I want you to rub that so it's some discomfort, but don't really hurt yourself, just some discomfort. And I want you to say these words, whether or not you believe them, but say them emphatically.
Okay.
Even though I have this fear of water, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I have this fear of water, I deeply and completely accept myself.
2 more times. Even though I have this fear of water.
Even though I have this fear of water, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Once more.
Even though I have this fear of water, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay, now follow me with the tapping, okay? Tap the beginning of one of your eyebrows, right about there, and say, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Over here. Fear of
Fear
water.
of water.
Under your eye, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Here, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Chin, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Okay, now on this collarbone point, which is right about, wait, let's get away from the microphone, right about there, okay? Go on that side. Say fear of water.
Fear of water.
The place under your arm, you know where that is, do you? Yeah, under your arm, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Okay, now on the outside of your thumb, right there, next to the nail bed. There you go.
Fear of water.
Fear of water. Index finger, same place. Fear of water.
Fear of water.
Middle finger.
Fear of water.
Little finger.
Fear of water.
Okay, now we call this the karate chop point.
Yeah? How are you doing that?
Well, yeah, how you want to do it. Okay, karate chop point. Okay,
Fear
now I
of
want you to
water.
tap in a place on the back of your hand, make a fist right there. Between those 2 knuckles and back about a half an inch, that's called the gamut point. I want you to
Okay.
tap right there like that. And then look at me as you do that, okay? I want you to close your eyes and open your eyes. Leave your head steady, but look hard down right, hard down left. Okay, now follow my finger. Look, go around in a circle. Okay, other direction. Okay, now I want you to hum Happy Birthday. That's to get your right brain involved. Now count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gets your left brain involved. And then again, hum. Okay. Okay, now I want you to go back to your eyebrow again and say fear of water.
Fear of water.
And then the side of your eye, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Under your eye,
Fear of water.
under your nose.
Fear of water.
Okay, it's a little louder. Under your chin.
Fear of water.
Okay, collarbone point. That's right about there, Dave. Here, let me, right there, okay? Okay, under your arm, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Okay. Thumb, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Okay, index finger,
Fear of water.
middle finger,
Fear of water.
okay, little finger,
Fear of water.
and then the karate chop point. That's all right, fear of water.
Fear of water.
Okay, now what I'd like to do right now, we've done 1 round of EFT, okay? And what I'd like to do now is have you look out at the water, and then I would like to have you tell me again, and I want you to go right to the most intense part of the story you told me a minute ago where you got to a 5. Go ahead and tell me that story again. What was happening? You were at the bottom of the lake? What was it?
I was dunked by
You were
these
dunked.
teenagers and pictured myself, or realized myself, sitting on the bottom of the shore, and then was fighting to get to the surface, thinking that I was totally submerged.
Okay, are you a 5 now, a 3,
Maybe a 2.
maybe a 2? All right, go ahead.
And finally opened my eyes after frantically trying to get to the surface and realized that I was only up to my waist in water.
Uh-huh.
That I was safe, that I was fine.
Okay. Did you think about it as you told that vignette? Did you go above a 2?
I may have, but I was certainly a long way from a 5 that I
You know,
far-
you
far
noticed the
from-
difference.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm still noticing a difference in your breathing. You know, and your voice changed a little bit. You know, I noticed that. Okay, and you know that you're not 0 yet.
Right.
So we're going to go to another round.
Okay.
Okay. So what I want you to do is rub this sore spot. You find that sore spot again, and this time we're going to say the same thing we said before. By the way, is that bothersome to the microphone? Was he doing that?
Better on the other side.
Yeah. Could you do the other side maybe so it doesn't? Can you find it? Did you find the sore spot?
Right there.
Okay, go ahead. These words are a little bit different for subsequent rounds, okay? Even though I still have some of this fear of water left, say that.
even though I still have some of this fear of water left.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I still have some of this fear of water.
Even though I still have some of this fear of
I
water,
deeply and completely.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
And one more time.
Even though I still have some of this fear of water left, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay, tap on the eyebrow, get in the eyebrow, and say remaining fear of water.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay, side of your eye,
Remaining fear of
okay,
water.
under your eye,
Remaining fear of water.
under your nose,
Remaining fear of water.
chin point,
Remaining fear of
the
water.
collarbone point. Okay, remaining fear of water.
Remaining fear
Under
of
your
water.
arm.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay, then do the thumb. Index, say remaining fear of water.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay, index finger,
Remaining fear of water.
middle finger,
Remaining fear of water.
little finger,
Remaining fear of
and
water.
karate chop point. Okay, now tap that gamma spot on the back of the hand. Oh, very good. Okay, close your eyes. Open your eyes. Hard down right. Hard down left. In a circle. Other way. Okay, hum. Happy birthday. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's all right. You can sing it. It's okay. We're just trying to get your right brain involved. That's all. All right. Eyebrow. Remaining fear of water.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay, side of your eye.
Remaining fear of
Under your
water.
eye.
Remaining fear of water.
Under your nose.
Remaining fear of water.
Chin.
Remaining fear of water.
Collarbone.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay, under your arm.
Remaining fear of water.
Thumb. Index finger.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay, keep going.
Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water.
Okay, karate chop point. All right, very good. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a second. And I want you to imagine yourself at the most intense point of that story you were telling us. Wherever it is, when you're underwater, when you're panicked, when you're sitting on the bottom on the sand, wherever it may be, I want you to kind of trip through that. And what I want you to do this time, Dave, is I want you to literally try to get your intensity up. What I want you to do is exaggerate it if you can. Exaggerate the sights, the sounds, the feelings, whatever's there. Make it worse and try to get yourself intense. Take a few seconds and tell me how you do.
I can't feel it.
You can't feel it,
No.
okay? Now I want you to tell me again, in graphic terms, what happened.
Okay. We're at the beach, goofing around, beach party, and I'm dunked, and I find myself sitting on the bottom of the shore.
Now wait a minute, when you say dunked, did they put their hands on you and
Right.
throw you in? What happened?
While we were waiting, I was being brave and going out as far as I could, which was about waist deep, and somehow they knew my fear, so then yes, they did dunk me.
By dunking, they put their hands on your head?
Hands and
Like this?
shoved me down.
Okay,
Right.
how does that feel when I do that? Does that bother you when I do that?
No.
Okay. Might it have ordinarily?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so something is happening now.
Right.
We're getting less zzz in your energy
Right.
system, and maybe it's all gone. We don't know that yet. We have to test it in a more ultimate way.
Right.
Okay. Let me ask you now. Do you feel comfortable in taking your shorts on and then trying to get in the water?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I want to be very congruent about this. If you're not comfortable, I want to know that, because that means we got more to go before we get there.
Well, two things. Number one, this is rather contradictory after what I told you before, but with the faith in you and the system, and the fact that I have no elevation of anxiety level, common sense tells me that I can proceed.
Okay. Common sense might tell you could not. I mean, I'm not really contradicting you. Those are your words. But what I want to zero in on is it isn't necessarily faith that you have all the faith in me in the world.
Right.
But if you have anxiety, that faith goes out the window, does it not?
Yeah, I will find that out.
You will find that out. Well, I'm noticing as you talk about it, I'm not seeing a change. I'm not hearing a change in your voice, and I'm detecting maybe a little bit of a change in your breathing, but not much. Do you think I'm accurate there? Because it's your body that's
Right.
reacting.
I noticed as I was relating the story each time that my breathing became more shallow, and so there was some constriction as that's what the symptoms were when I was talking about being at a 5, a 3, or a 2.
Okay.
And so yeah, there probably is a little bit of shallowness in breathing, but it's not significant.
Okay. Do you think your intensity right now is a 0 for going in?
No, I don't think I could say it's a 0.
Okay. What do you think it would be?
Probably between a 1 and a 2.
Between a 1 and 2. Okay. I'll tell you what. Sometimes we could go ahead and give it a try and when you got in there, we'd do some tapping, you know, to get you down further. But I don't want to do that. I want to make this as totally pain-free as we can. We're going to go through one more round before we even give that a try, okay?
I know I don't look my age, but you know, I've lived with this for 50 years.
Yeah, okay.
So I appreciate that.
All right, okay. Yeah, I know, and believe me, and I want you to know that this is, we're really going in for a pain-free process here. So we're going to go another round still, because he's reporting still something else is going on. What that tells us, we have another aspect someplace. Some other piece of it is coming up, okay? In fact, I just saw you swallow, and that tells me that you have some intensity about it left. And so, again, we're not going to go out and force you to do anything, okay? So let's go through it again. You have some more left, okay? Whatever, from wherever place it comes in, we don't even know where it is necessarily, and you may not either. It's subconscious, probably, okay? But let's rub the sore spot. It's the same process, the same round we did a minute ago. You find it?
Yes.
Okay. Even though I still have some of this fear of water left,
Even though I still have some of this fear of water
I
left,
deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay.
Even though I still have some of this fear of water left, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Yes.
Even though I still have some of this fear of water left, I deeply and completely accept
Okay.
myself.
Remaining fear of water.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay. Side of your eye. Remaining fear of water.
Remaining fear of water.
Got to have it memorized by now. Remaining fear of water.
Fear of water.
Go ahead.
Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water.
You may want to speak up just a little bit.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay.
Remaining fear of water. Remaining.
Thumb, actually.
Oops.
You're going down the body is what you're doing.
Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water.
Okay, now tap the gamut spot. Okay, eyes closed, eyes open, hard down right. Now leave your head steady. Then hard down right, hard down left. Then watch my fingers. Other way. Okay, roll. Happy birthday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Happy birthday. Okay, remaining fear of water.
Remaining fear of water.
Side of your eye,
Remaining fear of water.
under your eye.
Remaining fear of
And
water.
keep going.
Remaining fear of water.
A little louder maybe.
Remaining fear of water.
Okay.
Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear.
Under your arm.
Oh goodness, blew the whole thing.
No, that's okay. It's a fairly forgiving system. If you miss a point here and there,
Remaining fear of
probably
water.
okay.
Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water. Remaining fear of water.
Okay. Now you don't. Well, we did that already. Did we not do that? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Stop tapping.
All right. Now I want you to be congruent with yourself. I want you to look out there. I want you to imagine yourself going in that water, waist deep, and tell me what that does to you emotionally.
Nothing.
Nothing. So are you at a 0, do you think, now for giving it a shot?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you may be 0 when you get there. We don't know. If you get there and something else comes up, it didn't mean this tapping didn't work. It meant some other aspect is now coming up. You're somebody with apparently quite a few aspects going on here. And we're getting rid of them one by one. It's like a forest with trees in it. We're chopping down the trees one at a time until the forest is cleared. Once the forest is cleared, we'll be fine. We may be done, we may not. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take our clothes off, or except for our bathing suits, and we're going to go in the water. Now, but here's the rule. Here's the rule. The moment you get any intensity, it's not to say, okay, but I'm just going to be courageous and go forward anyway. It's to say, I've got some intensity. That's very important in this process, because that means something's going on. We need to tap for it.
Right. It's interesting you point that out, because I have motivation to get beyond this.
Yes, of course.
So
and
I would have a tendency to force myself.
And you'll try to be courageous to
Right.
get beyond it. But that's not what this is about.
Right.
It's not about courage. Not about that at all. It's about taking care of the zzz in your energy system so you don't have the emotional response. We've done it some so that while you think about it, you're not having any emotional response.
Right.
Okay, which is unusual compared to where we started.
Oh, quite.
Okay, well I'm in, and I'm in up to here. So Dave, why don't you come in and just step down? And the moment you get intense about anything, you tell me, okay? So you're in the second step now. How are you doing? Okay, go to the next step. Are you still a 0?
Yes.
Next step.
That's just cold water.
Okay. Okay, but now you are up to your groin anyway. Are you still a 0?
Yes.
Okay. Ordinarily at this point, would you be a 0?
No.
What number would you recall you would be at this point?
4 or 5.
A 4 or 5.
Right.
Okay, but you're a 0 now.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, let's gradually just go into deeper water. Remember, the moment you get intense, let me know. And by the way, for the camera, I want everybody to know I'm here because you don't know how to swim. There's one thing about throwing caution to the wind and dumping you in the deep end when you don't know how to swim. I mean, that's silly, okay? But I'm here in case you should slip or something like that. I know how to swim and all that. So that's just normal caution.
Okay.
We're talking about the irrational fear over and above that, which you're aware of. Right. Okay. All right. Well, come on over. If you could, you got to face the camera.
I'm having a battery crisis.
Oh, are you? What's happening?
Well, it's checking as 0 right now, so I'm first.
Oh, okay. Go in that bag over there. You'll
Yeah.
find a smaller battery.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
But I need to put it on.
Okay. Now, how are you doing there?
Fine.
You need to come a little closer, Adrian. Okay. Adrian, by the way, is braving it and actually coming in the pool herself with the camera. You're fine.
I'm fine.
You're-
I believe I'm fine.
You're
fine.
I can't believe you're fine, but you're fine. Okay. All right. Let's go a little farther. I want you to hold on to that edge. Okay. That's because you don't know how to swim, right?
Right. I know.
Okay. Now you're up to above your navel. How you doing right now?
I don't notice any difference between standing on the side of the pool, getting in, and where I am right now.
Okay. Now it is getting a little deeper. Are you getting any more of the fear of possibly slipping and drowning because you can't swim?
No.
Okay. Take another step. But I want you to hold on because you don't know how to swim.
Wait, I'm going to ask you guys to wait 1 minute before you go further. I'm going to...
Recording now.
Got it.
Okay. Do you feel okay coming away this direction?
Sure.
Okay, we'll come this direction. You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, now you're up now to your chest, right? And turn maybe so the camera can see you. And ordinarily, what would your intensity be right now?
I'm pushing 9 or 10 at this point.
But you're not feeling that now?
No.
Do you have anything? Are you a 1, a 2? Are you anything?
Maybe, I don't think I'm feeling anything.
Okay. All right. Now, I'd like to have you, I want to get in a little less deep water, so if we can come over here a little bit. Now, the ultimate test we were talking about was actually to do something like that,
Right.
okay? Now, me just mentioning that, does that bother you at all to do that? Okay, now I'm going to do it once, just so you can watch it. Remember, we don't want any pain, okay?
Right.
So I want you, this is what I'd like to have you do if you're comfortable.
Right.
Okay? Ready? Does that bother you?
I'm going to mess up my hair.
Well, I did that for me, but for the world at large watching this, if you're comfortable, do it. No, we didn't quite get there, did we? Okay,
No,
so
we didn't.
We have more left. Okay. Now, what happened on a scale of 0 to 10? I mean,
It choked right here. It's just as the pressure of the water was hitting there inside,
okay.
I had a constriction.
Okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, how intense was it?
About a 3 or a 4.
About a 3 or 4. But it was enough, so
But it
you
was-
didn't quite want to do it.
Yeah, because I was 3 to 4 is enough of a radical change from 0 from where I was before.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we didn't get it all yet. We had another aspect came up. Okay. We've gone quite a ways, have we not?
Right.
Okay. Well, we want to do another round of it. Okay. We want to deal with the remaining fear once again, because we've taken care of a lot of them, but we have
Oh,
more
yeah.
left. Okay. Now, so I want you to rub your sore spot. On your sore spot. Got it? Okay. Even though I still have some of this fear left, I deeply and completely accept myself 3 times.
Even though I still have some of this fear left, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have some of this fear left, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have some of this fear left, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay. This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
Over here.
This remaining fear.
This remaining water fear.
This remaining water fear. This remaining water fear. This remaining water fear. This remaining water fear. This remaining water fear.
Some first.
This remaining water fear. This remaining water fear. This remaining
gamut spot in the back of the hand. You got it. Okay. Okay. Close your eyes. Open. Heart down right. Keep your head steady. Heart down right. Heart down left. Roll them in a circle. Other way. Happy birthday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Happy birthday. Okay. Okay. This remaining fear.
It's
remaining water
fear.
It's remaining water
It's
fear.
remaining water fear.
Again.
It's remaining water fear.
It's remaining.
It's remaining water fear. It's remaining water fear. It's remaining fear. It's remaining water 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 fear.
Okay. Now, how do you feel now about doing that?
I don't have any anxiety.
Well, I just saw you swallow. It might just be a little bit there. Why don't you give it a try? But if you get tense, you let me know, okay? Still couldn't quite do it, okay? Was there any difference in the intensity?
I think it's about the same as it was.
About the same. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to be a little bit more specific, okay? We're not going to just talk about remaining water fear. We're going to be talking about the fear of dunking my head. Okay, so we'll just be specific with it, right? All right? All right. Source con, even though I have this fear of dunking my head, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I still have this fear of dunking myself, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this
Dunking
fear
my
of
head.
dunking my head, I deeply and completely accept myself.
With the emphasis,
Even though I
still
still-
some of this.
Even though I still have this remaining fear of dunking my head, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay. Dunking my head.
Dunking my head,
Fear of dunking my head.
fear of dunking my head,
Your eye.
fear of dunking my head, 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 fear of dunking my head.
Okay, now we want to just close your eyes. Open your eyes. Head steady. Heart down right. Heart down left. In a circle. Follow my fingers. Other direction. Happy birthday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Happy birthday. Okay. Read.
Fear of dunking my head. 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 Fear of dunking my
All right, let's give it another shot and see what happens. And again, if it bothers you, let me know. You can't do that. Okay. All right. So we have a little block here, don't we? Okay, we have light. Okay. Is the intensity of it any more than it was the first time we tried it, or any less?
I'd say it's less, but just something that says I can't do that.
Okay. All right. What's going on is you get down to here, your energy system goes zzz,
Right.
okay, and we have not balanced it yet. And chances are we have a number of aspects to that we need to treat. We just keep going on with this, okay?
Gary, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Why don't you work on the feeling in his throat? Because he keeps saying that. So why don't you, I would suggest you try a round of that.
Each time you try it, you get this feeling in your throat? Okay.
It's like I'm being choked.
Okay. A minute ago, when I said go ahead and try it, did you get that feeling in your throat before you started to go down?
No, just that the water level it's consistent with the water level. The water level gets to that point, and that's where that is.
Ah, it's the water level.
Right.
Okay.
Because I'm safe to that point. Beyond that point, not safe.
Okay. All right. Logically, are you safe?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
But emotionally, you're not safe.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Chances are what's going on here now, and one or two things is going on. This is an excellent teaching device. Okay. One or two things is going on. Either we have yet more aspects, lots of them are coming up, having to do with getting above this level. Okay. Lots of them are coming up. Or We're not able to get beyond the setup part of it, this part here, but that's steer away from blocking is called psychological regression. We're not able to get beyond that, because if we're not able to do this part of it right, the rest of it doesn't work. So what I want you to do now is we're going to talk about water above your chin. Okay? Even though, because I'm going to have you mimic water above your chin, get that far. Even though I have a fear of water above my chin, etc. But what I want you to do is to do it with great emphasis. Okay? Follow me. Another source. Even though I have problems with I have a fear of water above my chin.
Even though I have fear of water above my
I
chin, I
deeply
deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though
Even though I have fear of water above my chin, I deeply and completely accept myself.
deeply and completely.
Even though I have fear of water above my chin, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Fear of water above my chin.
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 Fear of water above my
Fear
chin.
of water above my chin. Fear 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 of water above my chin.
Okay. Get that gamut point.
Fear of water above my chin.
Okay, now close your eyes. Open. Arm down right. Arm down left. This one. Other right. Happy birthday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Happy birthday. Fear of water above my chin.
Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin. Fear of water above my chin.
Okay, this time all I want you to do is just do this and just get down to a point where the water's above your chin. See if you can do it, okay? Is that all right? You're 0? Yeah, you're 0. Okay.
Right.
Do you feel? How about now down in your head? Can you try it? Go as far as you can. Okay. What happens?
Because I have to inhale. When I go down, I have to inhale, and I know I can't inhale because I'm going to inhale oil.
Okay. Stand up a second. Why do you have to inhale? Okay.
I want to.
Okay, you want to inhale.
Right.
Okay, now what's going on? This is yet another aspect. You have so many aspects about this one thing, and we're taking you step by step by step and unpeeling all this onion, okay? But we get you piece by piece. But now we get to a point where you're having difficulty because you need to inhale. You feel you need to, okay? And is there a fear about that? You have to, okay, what is the fear? Can you put words around it?
I guess I'm just trying to, well, what do I feel? I feel like I'm going to be down there so long that I need the extra air, and therefore I need to inhale.
Okay.
It's hard to...
Even though you...
Right.
Logically,
Yes.
you know you don't, but emotionally,
Right,
that's what
right.
we're talking about. So you get down there, all of a sudden another thought yet comes
Right.
up, which has to do with I've got to have more air.
Right.
Okay, and that makes your inner system go zzz.
Right.
So we're going to deal with that. Now, incidentally, just so you know, you may not be able to, when you're dealing with yourself, be able to pull out all these various things from your subconscious mind, because I have experience doing that. It really doesn't matter. If you just keep doing the process over and over and over again, your subconscious mind will bring up what we need. But I'm just being more specific here for you. Okay. All right. So now we're going to put a label on that, and we're going to call that fear of needing air. All right. And we're going to address. Is that labeling it correctly
Yeah.
for you?
Right.
Okay. And by the way, you wouldn't need to label it fear of needing air unless you were able to pull that out, put words around that. You can just keep going into it because you know you have a fear of something, which is true with you. And you just keep doing it, it will happen. But at this point, we're going to talk about the fear of needing air. Okay? Source thought. Even though I have this fear of needing air.
Even though I have this fear of needing air,
I
deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear of needing air, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear of needing air, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Fear of needing air?
Fear of needing air.
Fear of needing air.
Fear of needing air. Fear of needing air. Fear of needing air. Fear of needing air. Fear of needing air. Fear of needing air. Fear of needing air. Fear of needing
birthday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fear of meeting air.
Fear of meeting air. Fear of meeting air. Fear of meeting air.
You're right first.
Fear of meeting air. Fear of meeting air. I'm not teachable either.
You're not teachable.
Fear of meeting air. 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 Fear of meeting air.
Okay. Now, let's go ahead and take a deep breath first. Okay. And go down and see how far you can go. But if you jam again, you jam. Okay. Can you do it?
I feel fine right here.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, you just had water go above. All right. Put your,
That's unique.
okay. Put. We're getting there piece by piece. Okay. Can you go down farther?
Yeah.
Can you go all the way under? You got something going for you, right?
Well, I feel very good.
Do you? Can you go all the way under?
Hold your breath.
I-
Take
I
a
don't
deep
want-
breath.
I don't want you to use courage. Do you feel comfortable going all the way under?
I think I feel comfortable.
All right, as you will.
Dave, take a deep breath before you do.
Practically nothing there.
Practically.
If I was a 1 or a 2, that would have been the extent of it.
Okay, but the water went to there. Is there a worry about getting it or a fear about getting it above your head totally?
Well, other than I'll have to have my hair done again, you'll have to pay for it.
I'll pay for it. Damn, my hair done again. You still didn't get quite all the way in.
Well, then I gotta get deeper.
Okay. Good.
Oh, okay, that's the problem right there. That's a good thing. Get deeper still,
On a
Dave.
scale of 0 to 10, see, you're still at about this much. What am I about to hear?
Need a
He's
weight
worried
belt for
about his-
this,
he's
huh?
worried about his
buoyancy.
beauty.
Talk about buoyancy.
Worried about his beauty.
I can relate to that. Very good.
Okay, now did you get, on a scale of 0 to 10, what came up? Something must have come up, because I'm sensing a little bit of tenseness. Maybe it's just my imagination.
Very little. Very little. I
Watch-
don't know. I
watch
guess
me.
it's thinking I'm going to lose my balance. I guess.
Yeah, that's a different thing, because you can't
Right.
swim. That's a different
Right.
thing. I want you to get up here into other water where you don't have to worry about
I'm
being...
too deep.
But
Let
then
me
he
just
can't
touch the
get-
rail. Let me just touch the rail.
Why don't you
This is-
come
this is
over
what
here?
I'd like you to do. Okay, and if you get intense just watching me, you tell me, okay? I'd like to have you do this. In shallow water, so you know logically.
Right.
Okay, now, did you get intense watching me?
No.
Okay, get over here and try that. But now do it this way. And if you, again, I realize that you cannot swim. So we're talking about a different fear. We're talking about a very logical fear, not being able to swim. Okay. But see if you can't just sit on the bottom like this. Does that scare you?
No.
All right, try it. Make your butt hit the bottom. How'd that feel?
That felt fine.
Did it? Okay.
Did he go to the bottom?
Did your butt hit the bottom?
Well, let me show you again.
Okay.
But do it this way. Do it this way. I'm going to do it with enthusiasm. Okay.
Yep, jump up. There, he did it. That's it. That made me happy. How did it make you feel, Dave?
Felt fine.
Did
Do
it?
you have anything? Is it 0?
No, there's nothing.
Nothing in the throat? None of that. Can you do it without holding your nose?
I don't think so.
Do it again. That's great. That's great. Wow, that's great.
All right. Marvelous.
That's great.
I said it couldn't be done.
You said it couldn't be done. Well, but let me point something out. Are we both on camera? Right now, what we've done is we've gotten you from a point where you would have been out there and you'd have been a good 10. Your heart would have been pounding. You'd have been out of here.
Right.
This 50-year-old fear, very intense fear you have. Okay. All we did was several rounds of tapping an energy system, and we got lots of aspects. I'm going to guess here that we've gotten most of the aspects. This is in my experience. But it may be at some other time you'll go to a pool or some other body of water and you'll get some intensity. That did not mean this didn't work. What that means is something else is coming up, some other memory, something like that is coming up. Okay. What I'm going to guess is if you were at a lake where you can't see the bottom and it's unclear water, or in an ocean or something like that, you may well have, this is a guess of mine, something come up and says, whoa, look out. We're in very clear water here. Okay, that may be another aspect. Do you think that's true?
It could well be, because I couldn't see the bottom of the river that imposed all of this.
And we are not able right now to test that because we just have a normal swimming pool. So we got as far as we could testing it. You have a very stubborn, obstinate, many-faceted, many-aspected fear. That's why it took all these rounds. Okay, how do you feel right now about it?
I feel fine. I feel victorious.
Okay. What else could we add to this?
Just ask him to do it again.
Yeah. Oh, wow, he's volunteering now.
Oh, I know what I want to do.
That's great, Dave. Huh?
Well, he doesn't know how to
The lady, his friend Marilyn is asking him for laps.
I want to do one other thing, which may be an ultimate test. I don't know, but I'm going to do
Deeper in.
Well, we could do that. But I'm going to do something else first.
Now he wants to go deeper
I want you
in.
to go underwater like you did, and I'm going to put my hand on top of your head,
Whoa, yeah.
like those kids did that dumped you. Okay. Now you know I'm not going to drown you, but that doesn't mean your emotions don't know that. And I want to know, how do you feel now about me saying even I want to do that?
I guess the common sense tells me that if you use one hand there, you should have the other hand here, because when I get the...
There you go.
Can you see
We're
us now?
on. We're on.
We're on again?
And you're both in the picture. Now David is insisting he wants to do more.
That's right.
Okay, anyway, I put my hand on your head.
Right.
And so logic tells you I need to do this too. This because you can't swim?
Right.
Okay.
And I don't have any, when I get down there, I don't have any idea where up is. So when I hit the bottom...
You're not used to being there.
Right.
Okay. All right. It's not a fear. It's just you're not used to being there.
I think that's right.
Well, it would be a logical fear, a logical caution. I want to draw a distinction between logical and caution.
Right.
This process does not be stupid. You're not going to go jump in the deep end out there because you don't know how to swim.
Right.
You might even do that.
Oh my gosh, we created a monster.
We're not stupid either. Okay.
I want a copy of that. My hair is...
All right.
All right, go ahead on down, and I'll put my hand here like you said. I'm going to put my hand on top of your head, okay? Now, how was that?
That didn't cause anything.
Okay,
Oh,
I want you to
it
go
didn't.
just a little
Great.
farther under, all the way under if you would. As I do that.
This is just remarkable.
There you go. Okay, good.
How you doing, Dave?
Fine.
Are you? You're absolutely zero.
Fine.
Okay,
Fine.
we're going to do one more
Fabulous.
test because you talked about deeper water.
Sure, deeper water.
So I'm going to go with you
Oh
because you
my
can't swim, but I
gosh.
want you to test it however you want to test it, okay?
Wait, I'm going to turn this off for a minute. Or is that as deep as you're going to go? Okay.
Okay, just put one hand here.
Okay.
Because this is really going off.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to lose my balance.
Wow. He's down there. Great. How you doing?
Okay. Do you know anything about swimming?
Just, no, I don't.
Wait, I want to get a comment. When you went down then, Dave, did that do anything to you at all in the deeper water?
No, I didn't do it.
Did you get to a 1 or a 2?
No.
Nothing.
Could you
there
do
he
something
goes.
like...
Jeez, we can't keep him above water now.
Look, I'm trying to talk about this, okay?
That's fabulous.
Now, what I want to do, David, is I'm going to show you something, okay? Swimming
Okay.
right. Can you do this?
Well,
Can you do it athletically, physically?
yeah.
Oh, sure.
You want to try it?
I'd rather do it that way.
However you want to
Okay.
You want to do it what way?
Because I want to be able to get to the shore.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's going to...
Okay, but let's draw a distinction. You don't know how to swim.
No, I don't.
Okay, so
See, I'm thinking I'm going to go down. 'Cause I can't float. I think I can't float.
That's a whole different
it's a
thing.
whole different thing.
Yeah.
A whole different thing. Okay. All right. Well, we may have had some success.
Oh my gosh, we can't keep this guy above water. That's fabulous. I said we can't keep you above water. That's great, Dave. Look at him. He's still doing it. Isn't that great? That's
swallowed water, so never did that before.
how was that for you? Did that scare you?
No.
No? Oh, he's blowing bubbles. That's great. You're breathing there.
You're making me nervous. Will you stop it?
That's great.
David, you're making David's lady friend nervous.
That's great, Dave.
You have the fear now.
That's great. Good for you.
Does the Y give free lessons if you're over 50?
I don't know.
I'll have to check that out.
Good for you. Good for you.
What?
Wait, but listen to the passenger on your bus over here.
I'm going to get Marilyn and throw her in here, okay?
Well, this is Dave Zidlow, who, by the way, was afraid of water. About how long have you worked on it? Maybe 45 minutes. Now we can't get him out of the pool. He's going to do laps. He wants to go
Knows how to be a
deeper.
rock.
That's right.
Gary taught me how to sink.
The only thing I have to say, you're worried about sinking. You're the most buoyant person I've seen. He had to push you to get
I want
to the
you to
bottom.
notice something. You are very calmly, very easily, with water clear up to your chin.
Right.
You know, in fact, it's almost like you want to be there.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Well, you couldn't even
Oh.
remotely come to that before.
I think it's been silly that an old man like me hasn't been able to enjoy water sports and hasn't been able to play with his kids in the water.
Yeah, and that's because again, for the education, and I repeat lots of stuff. Okay, it's because when you think of water, your energy system goes,
Right.
and now it doesn't
Right.
do that because we balance the energy.
Right.
Okay, and that's the only thing that we did here, by the way, folks, was balance the energy system. We didn't talk you through a bunch of therapeutic stuff, and we didn't do all kind of other things, right?
Oops, sorry, you lost your audience. He was underwater again. Okay, are we ready? I'll turn this off.
I don't know, as long as we got...
Wait a
Yeah,
second.
but he wants...
Now here's
You can see
Dave.
those bubbles, can't you?
That's right. He's now blowing bubbles, not holding his nose. Watch this. Look at this. Gosh, we cannot get this guy out of the pool.
David, millions are going to see you now blowing bubbles in the swimming pool. Okay?
Isn't that
I don't care.
fabulous?
Millions.
Good for you. Good for you. Look at that. No fear at all. Great. That's great. Oh my God, he's staying down so long. Now he's staying down longer and longer.
Right.
I've never had a phobia like that. That must be a real relief or release for you.
Hey, you've read and heard so much about therapy and everything in water, and it's a whole different feeling. And I've always wanted to scuba dive. But
Yeah.
I thought I could, with the phobia, I thought I could do that before I'd learn to swim. But they won't teach you to do scuba without swimming. So
Yeah.
I couldn't. And now I'm thinking of all these possibilities of things that I can do
Yeah.
now that I don't have to worry about getting my head underwater.
How does it feel emotionally? Is it like a release, like a relief or something like that? Or use your words.
I don't
not
think
mine.
there's as much of a release as there is the excitement, looking forward to the things that I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too bad that my youngest kid is 18, and so I've gone through all of that with all the kids, and best I could do is get into 3 feet of water, and see them swim all the way around and back, and be envious of them, and
have
be
your heart race at the same
disappointed.
time.
Well, yeah, and be disappointed that I can't enjoy it with them.
Yeah.
And now I know that I could.
Okay.
Show us again.
Learning how to swim doesn't take that long. And, go to the Y. What has happened in the meantime? Have you had a chance to test the fear of water?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell us about it?
Sure. A week had gone by, and I started thinking about it. Not that I was concerned about relapse or whatever you would call it, but that it should be checked. I should test it. So I made arrangements with a friend to use the pool at an apartment complex, and went in and tried to check myself as I approached and got into the water, and absolutely no anxiety whatsoever, and went submerged myself the same as I did at the Holiday Inn, and had no anxiety whatsoever. It was fun, blowing bubbles, all of that. And then people were saying, well, gee, Dave, if you've never done this, you probably don't know how to swim. And I said, no. And I said, you mean you can't float either? So they started pointing out how to float, and I can darn near float.
Oh, good.
So I could lay there, breathe through my nose, not worry about water getting all over me, and had a gay old time.
Okay, so you had absolutely zero fear of water then.
That's correct.